All right, highlight video from GreatStockPicks.com, live trading chat room from Wednesday. We had a really, really good day today. The morning was amazing. LINE, this is a daily chart. You can see it's beaten up, then bounced, looked like it was rolling over again, but then today gapped up, I think on an upgrade by Goldman Sachs. I could be wrong. Let's go to an intraday basis, and I'll show you how clean the setup was. If you've seen many of our videos, you already know what this setup is. You've got the gap up, and then consecutive lower highs on 5-minute candles all the way down to almost touch that 8-period moving average. That's the exponential moving average, 5-minute candles in the 8-period. So that's what I use, and this is the area where on a strong stock, if this is going to turn out, as you know, a gapping stock could just go right through this and end up closing the gap in one day. You don't know that, so every trade is an educated guess. I called this because it was at that area as a potential bounce long over this candle, stop below this candle. Okay, 2618, 2601, and there's the trigger. 5 minutes later, we're nicely in the green. Another 10 minutes later, you can see, and then we test the high of the day, and man, the thing just kept climbing. 2618 entry, 17 cents risk, and it went all the way to 2752, so $1.34. And it's kind of fun to look at the chart now when you can see all the candles and know that we took it, right on that turn right there. So that was one, LINE. ONVO, one of our members, KLB is his chat room name, posted ONVO before it hit 7. Okay, so it was coming up here. It was probably right at 7, and then he put it on my radar. And I was already kind of, sorry about that, I was already kind of familiar with the chart and knew that this one had potential. So when I saw it, I called it long at 7:05. We still hadn't broken the high of the day, which would have been 7:08. Volume was coming in, and you can see it here. You see how quickly it happened. But KLB put it on my radar in enough time for me to put it out to the room, and man, that was really, really nice too. It ended up going to 805, so it moved a buck in our favor on 20 cents risk, but you can see from the entry right here, we were never underwater. So again, looking back at the full day, the entry, I didn't do that very well, the entry was right about there, and never even came back to visit it. So anyway, hats off to KLB for putting that on our radar. He didn't just help me make money, but I don't know how many people in the chat room got it too. AMBA, this one caught my attention on this volume spike here. Really nice move, and then the daily chart was near new recent highs, so I just played the pullback. I actually use 2-minute candles when the daily chart's really strong and you get a big pop like that. I played the pullback and I just called it long, kind of like I showed you on 5s, but this is at the 2-minute candle, 8-period moving average. It came down, and I called it long over this candle, 1835. And the stop below this candle, 1827. So only 8 cents risk, and never came back to the entry, or never came back to the stop. It probably went sideways for a while, but ended up moving all the way up to, let me switch to 5s now, all the way up to 1930. So 1835 went to 1930 on 8 cents risk without stopping out. Now you see what I mean by we had a nice day. And you can go back and know that the entry was right about in there. So nice, clean, low-risk entry. And I'll tell you what, I asked the All-Stars in our chat room to send me their favorite calls today, and I didn't get any. So I'll go over a couple other things I called. I called BTU on a high of day break today, right at 16.15 with about a dime risk when it got there. And it went up to over 16.40, but just never could really get going. DGX called down here bottom feeding, and I don't know that it ever stopped out, but it just got so weird that I ended up taking a flat in it. And Broadcom, I think one of our all-stars, Stephen B, called Broadcom right here around 33.39. So what happened was you had to sell off the bounce, just like the longs. Then you had a potential short into the falling 8-period moving average. But when it failed, when sellers failed to push it down, Stephen B called it long at 18. That's not right. 33.39. Stop 19 cents below. So somewhere right in here. Stop was at 33.20. You can see it never got hit, and it went almost to 34. It went to 33.97. So a great idea by Stephen B. And like I said, I'm doing a disservice in this video because it wasn't just my calls that were amazing today. Well, I don't want to say amazing, but it wasn't just my calls that were profitable today. There were several others. I just don't have them in front of me, and I'd have to spend another hour going through all the logs because I'm so busy trading myself and making calls for the room that I don't always get to write down or trade myself when the All-Stars make a call. So like I said, this is a partial highlight video, and there were some other great calls. But you know what? Just the ones I've shown you made for a fantastic day. So I'm going to quit babbling, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.